I'm so excited to share with you all Thinking in English classes, created by my friends Nathan and Peter. Their level boost courses are designed to help you make fast progress and reach upper intermediate and advanced levels of English. I've had so much feedback from Thinking in English listeners who've taken their courses. What worked for these listeners was the structured routine, weekly interactive activities, and the chance to ask their teachers questions directly. Plus, the vibrant community of learners provides constant motivation. September is the ideal time to start making fast progress. Complete 30 lessons over 5 units, or just try 1 unit to see how effective it is. Listeners of this podcast get an exclusive 10% discount, and Patreon subscribers get 20% off. Just send me a message if you're on Patreon. Use the code THINK, THINK, at thinkinginenglish.link to book your course right now. That's code THINK. Don't miss out. Start improving your English today. Hello, I'm Tom Wilkinson, and welcome to the Thinking in English podcast, a podcast for intermediate to advanced level English learners. Pizza is one of the most popular foods around the world. But how much do you know about its history? Today, we'll look at how pizza evolved from ancient flatbreads to a food for working people in Naples to a globally popular dish. You can find a full transcript for free for this episode over on my blog or on Spotify. Here is today's vocabulary list. Flatbread. Flatbread. A type of bread made with flour, water and salt, and then rolled into flattened dough. For example, the restaurant served a delicious flatbread topped with olive oil and herbs. Topping. Topping. Food items added on top of a dish. As in, my favourite pizza topping is pepperoni. Peasant. Peasant. A poor person of low social status who owns or rents a small piece of land for cultivation. For example, in the past, peasants worked hard in the fields to grow their own food. Ingredient. Ingredient. Any of the foods or substances that are combined to make a particular dish. For instance, fresh ingredients like tomatoes, basil, and mozzarella are essential for making a good pizza. Speciality. Speciality. A dish that a restaurant or region is famous for. As in, the Margarita pizza is a local speciality of Naples. Endorse. Endorse. To declare one's public approval or support of something. For example, the celebrity chef endorsed the new restaurant, praising its menu and delicious food. What is my favourite food? I find this question really difficult to answer. There are so many delicious foods that I have tried, and depending on my mood or feeling, the food I want to eat changes. Something that I am always excited to eat is a delicious pizza. Whether it is a cheap frozen pizza from the supermarket, like I ate all the time as a student, or a fantastic Neapolitan-style pizza cooked with the best ingredients. I love all kinds of pizza. I'm not alone. Pizza is certainly one of the most popular dishes around the world. Today, I want to look at the history and development of pizza. How did pizza become perhaps the most popular food in the world? And what are some of the different styles of pizza around the world? Before we get into the history of this amazing dish, I think we need to take a second to think about a basic question. What is a pizza? The dictionary definition from Oxford Languages is a dish of Italian origin consisting of a flat round base of dough baked with a topping of tomatoes and cheese, typically with added meat, fish, or vegetables. While this definition probably fits most of the pizzas consumed today, I think it is a little too restrictive. Pizza marinara, for example. Actually, I probably should apologize for my Italian pronunciation in this episode. I pronounce things like an English person would, because I'm not Italian. But pizza marinara is one of the oldest styles of modern pizza, dating from 1735, but includes no cheese. Instead, the toppings are simply a tomato sauce, olive oil, oregano, and garlic. Or there is pizza bianca, white pizza, which is often served in the Italian capital Rome and has no tomato sauce. Pizzas today come in so many styles and forms, and the history of the dish is so varied, that a tight definition like you will find in the dictionary is not always useful. Writing this episode made me remember an old YouTube series I used to watch 5 or 6 years ago called Really Dough. It features 2 Americans, including one who owns perhaps the most popular pizzeria in New York, traveling around the US, trying unconventional pizzas and deciding if they were really pizza or not. They tried ramen pizza, fried pizza, dessert pizza, mustard pizzas, and debated whether they were pizza or not. I recommend watching the series. I'll leave a link in the transcript. I think there are 3 key features that are found in most pizzas. First is dough. This is a simple mixture of flour, water, yeast, and salt rolled out into a flat shape. Second is sauce. Most commonly, the sauce will be tomato-based, though variations can include pesto or white sauce or no sauce at all. And third is toppings. Cheese is found on most pizzas. Mozzarella is the most traditional and popular choice, but other types of cheese can also be used. Other toppings range from meats, like pepperoni, sausage, or ham, to vegetables, such as bell peppers, onions, and mushrooms, as well as herbs and spices. These are just the basic elements that make up a pizza, but the dish itself is incredibly adaptable. Some styles of pizza have strict definitions. Traditional Neapolitan pizza, for example, has an official legal definition that sets out acceptable cooking methods, ingredients, pizza shapes and sizes, and toppings. If a pizza doesn't follow these guidelines, it can't be called a Neapolitan pizza. Around the world, various other styles of pizza have developed with completely different cooking methods and a variety of different ingredients. There are also dishes that resemble pizza in some way, maybe dough, sauces, and toppings, but are completely distinct and developed separately. There are dishes like lahmacun or manakish, I think I've pronounced those wrong, which are popular in Turkey and Lebanon, and are sometimes described as Turkish pizza or Lebanese pizza, but developed separately as flatbreads with toppings. Or even, arepas from Colombia and Venezuela contain many of the same features as a pizza, cooked flatbread with cheese, sauces, and toppings, but are obviously not pizzas as they originated in South America hundreds of years ago. So, how did pizza develop? Like many famous dishes around the world, pizza is the result of hundreds of years of development and evolution. Flatbreads and other dishes that resemble pizza in some way have existed for thousands of years. Civilizations such as the Greeks, Egyptians, and Romans all had variations of flatbreads that were topped with ingredients like olive oil, herbs, and cheese. These early versions of pizza were simple and baked in ovens or on hot stones. Greek pita bread, Italian focaccia and piadina, and manakish from the Levant region are all examples of flatbreads that trace their origins to the ancient Mediterranean. The word pizza first appeared in texts over 1,000 years ago. There are a variety of different theories over where the word came from. It may share a similar origin to the Greek pita flatbreads. It could come from the Lombard word for mouthful, or it came from an early Italian word for clamp, pinza. The first recorded mention of the word pizza comes from Gaeta in Italy in the year 997 AD, but it was probably very different to the pizzas we have today. Over time, these popular flatbreads evolved into modern pizza. These developments occurred mainly in the Italian city of Naples in the 18th and 19th centuries. In fact, from the 16th century, certain types of galette, like a pancake, and flatbread were described as pizza in Naples. Naples was one of Europe's major cities and was rapidly growing in the 18th century, with thousands of peasants from the countryside moving in search for work. These men typically worked as casual labour and needed food that was cheap and easy to eat. Pizzas met this need. They could be cut into different sizes and were topped with affordable ingredients like salt, lard, a type of fat, and garlic. At this time, pizza was just a dish for the poorest people in the city. The wealthy and visitors from other cities and countries looked down at pizzas. In 1831, Samuel Morse even described pizza as looking like a piece of bread that has been taken reeking out of the sewer. These dishes sometimes included an incredibly unpopular ingredient that was not commonly used by chefs, cooks, and the elite people at the time: the tomato. Tomatoes came to Europe as part of the Columbian Exchange. The Columbian Exchange refers to the widespread transfer of plants, animals, culture, human populations, technology, and ideas between the Americas and the Old World, right? The Old World being Europe, Africa, and Asia. Following the journeys of European explorers in the late 15th and early 16th centuries. Tomatoes are native to Western South America. They were first domesticated and cultivated by the indigenous peoples of Mexico. After the Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire in the early 16th century, tomatoes were brought back to Europe by Spanish explorers. Initially, they were grown mainly as ornamental plants, meaning plants used to decorate a house or garden, as tomatoes were initially thought to be poisonous due to their membership of the nightshade family. Gradually, tomatoes became more accepted as a food, especially in Spain and Italy in southern Europe. Tomatoes grew relatively easily in the Italian climate and were cheap due to their unpopularity with wealthier people. Therefore, they became part of many peasant and poorer dishes, including being used as a pizza topping. The popularity of pizza, especially pizzas topped with tomatoes, changed rapidly in 1889. This was the year that the Margarita pizza was invented, perhaps the most iconic and popular pizza around the world. Italy was not a united country until 1861. In 1861, the various kingdoms, cities, and regions of Italy were united under one monarchy, the Savoy family. In 1889, Queen Margarita of Savoy visited Naples with her husband, King Umberto I. Naples was a proud city, the former capital of the Kingdom of Two Sicilies, and the royalty wanted to increase their popularity in the region. During their stay, chefs trained in French cuisine cooked the best French dishes for the royal family. But the king and queen expressed a desire to try some local specialties, including pizza. Raffaella Esposito, a renowned pizza maker, was summoned to prepare pizzas for the royal couple. He made 3 different pizzas. One was topped with lard, a type of fat, basil, and a type of cheese. You can still find this pizza today, known as a mastunicola. I think maybe I pronounced that wrong. The second pizza was topped with caciocavallo, a word in local Naples dialect for whitebait, meaning very young Mediterranean fish. And the third pizza was topped with tomato sauce and mozzarella cheese. The pizza maker decided to add basil as well, symbolizing the red, white, and green of the Italian flag. Queen Margarita was reportedly so impressed with this pizza that it was named in her honor, the Pizza Margarita. Pizza transformed from a local dish for Naples' working people to a popular national dish that was now endorsed by the royal family. Pizza gradually spread out of Naples around Italy. Neapolitans, the people of Naples, moved in search for work and opportunities, taking their local dishes with them. During World War II, a combination of people moving around the country and American soldiers asking for pizza wherever they went pushed more restaurants to offer pizza. Post-war tourism also encouraged more cities and restaurants to sell pizza, as it was such a popular dish for people from other countries. It is arguable that pizza spread out of Italy faster than it spread in Italy. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw waves of Italian immigrants moving to the United States and other parts of the world. They set up their own businesses and cooked their own dishes. In 1905, the first pizzeria in New York City was opened, Lombardi's. It spread rapidly across the United States, quickly becoming a national dish. Cities with large Italian communities, like New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia, became home to many pizza restaurants. Soon, pizza restaurants were opened by non-Italians, often immigrants from other parts of Europe, and began to adapt to the tastes and ingredients of the USA. After World War II, American soldiers stationed in Italy developed a taste for pizza and helped spread its popularity when they returned home. The post-war economic boom and the rise of fast food culture in the 1950s and 1960s further propelled pizza into the mainstream. As American culture and cuisine spread globally, so did pizza. International pizza chains like Pizza Hut, Domino's, and Papa John's played significant roles in making pizza a worldwide favorite. More recently, higher quality, traditional Neapolitan restaurants have also started to spread around the world, offering a different experience to the fast food style pizzas of North America. Today, there are hundreds of pizzas around the world, cooked in various different styles and topped with different ingredients. Neapolitan pizza is perhaps the most iconic style of Italian pizza. It is characterized by a thin, soft, and chewy crust with a slightly charred edge. It is typically topped with simple and high-quality ingredients, like San Marzano tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, often buffalo mozzarella, fresh basil and olive oil, and traditionally cooked in a wood-fired oven. There are other styles of Italian pizza. Roman pizza often has a thin and crispy crust and is often baked in large rectangular trays and sold by the slice. Pizza al metro is a long rectangular pizza served by the meter, or metro, or half meter. They are often cooked in a wood-fired oven on a wooden paddle. Sicilian pizza has a thick, spongy and soft crust resembling focaccia. It is typically topped with tomatoes, onions, anchovies, herbs, and a hard Sicilian cheese. The USA also has an incredible variety of pizzas. New York-style pizza is probably just as iconic and popular as Neapolitan-style pizza. New York pizza has large, thin, and foldable slices with a crisp yet chewy crust. It is topped with tomato sauce and mozzarella cheese, and traditional toppings include pepperoni, sausage, and mushrooms. Chicago-style pizza, or deep dish pizza, is quite controversial in the USA, as there is a constant debate over whether it is really a pizza or not. Chicago pizza has deep, thick crusts with high edges, resembling a pie. Layers of cheese, meats, and vegetables are placed directly on the dough and then topped with a tomato sauce. California-style pizza has a thin and crispy crust, but is best known for their innovative or strange toppings. Things like artichokes, goat cheese, arugula, smoked salmon, and avocado. While New York-style pizza is the most famous style of US pizza, New Haven in Connecticut is often considered home to the best pizzas in the US, with their A-pizza. A-pizza is topped with simple tomato sauces, grated pecorino cheese, and garlic. They also have unique toppings like white clam pizza. Around the world, pizza has been adapted and changed to fit local tastes, which can lead to some unusual and definitely not traditional toppings. Hawaiian pizza, invented by a Greek immigrant to Canada using pineapple and ham as toppings, always creates arguments about whether pineapple should be on a pizza. If you don't like pineapple on a pizza, you might want to stay away from Swedish pizzerias, as you probably won't like their banana and curry pizzas. In Japan, it's very common for pizzas in supermarkets to be topped with potatoes and mayonnaise. In India, popular toppings include paneer, a type of cheese, and pickled ginger. And apparently in Costa Rica, shrimp and coconut is a popular pizza. Pizza has evolved from a local Neapolitan flatbread to one of the most popular dishes around the world. So here is today's final thought. Hopefully, after listening to today's episode, you know a little more about pizza, its history, and its evolution into a globally popular food. We've discovered the ancient origins of pizza, the delicious Margarita pizza, and also some of the diverse styles found around the world today. Pizza is still developing and evolving into different forms and gaining new toppings. What is your favourite types of pizza? What is your favourite topping? Does your country have any unique pizza styles or toppings? I want you to practice your English. Take the passive listening you've just done for the past 20 minutes and now write in English to me in the comments on Spotify. I can now reply to comments on Spotify. They've just introduced that new feature. So leave a comment and I'll reply to you. I want you to tell me what your favourite type of pizza is and what your favourite topping is and whether your country has any unique pizza toppings. Also, I'll leave a poll on Spotify. Maybe I'll ask if pineapple should be a pizza topping. Thank you all for listening. You can also leave comments on my blog, or if you're a Patreon member, reach out to me on Patreon. And thank you for everyone supporting me on Patreon. It's very important. Most of my income comes from Patreon. But thank you all for listening, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.